Hi and welcome back to this channel. My name is Cynthia Wakeo, the Communication and Events Manager at Corporate Staffing Services. And today I'm joined by Paminas. He's back on the channel. And we're going to be exploring how you as a HR can recognize a toxic manager at the workplace. Thank you for joining me, Paminas.
Thank you for having me.
Are you excited about this?
Very excited, yes.
So, let's start. You're a HR consultant.
Yes.
So from your point of view, how can a HR professional recognize a toxic manager in the workplace?
Yeah, so before I share with you the things to look out for, there are these two statements which you hear managers, organizations making.
Yes.
And the first statement is that people are our greatest resource. And indeed they are, because it doesn't matter what kind of an organization you are. The people who make an organization great are the people. It's not about the technology. It's not about it's not about how big a name you have. It's not about the how big you are. So people are really important, and sometimes us as managers, we get to forget that. Yeah. And there's also this statement where people say people don't leave their company, they leave their bosses. Yeah. So you can see the relationship that an employee has with the immediate supervisor. It makes all the difference. Yeah. So as a HR manager or as a director, it's important to make sure that the people we are hiring in management, they do have the skills to really offer effective leadership and management to the people who are reporting to them. Yeah. So then what are these signs that you need to be on the lookout for? Number one, look at the turnover. So if John engineering department is always hiring, and when you do exit interviews, people don't want to be open on the reason why they are leaving. For me, that's a red flag. Yeah. Then even if people are not leaving, what about the productivity? You could be lagging behind. You've done all you could, Wakeo. You've advertised, you put all the money, you put all the resources, but people are not performing. Yeah. Probably because of the kind of the leadership that they are getting. Yeah. Apart from even performance, there are things you can pick like absenteeism. Either genuine or not genuine. People could be falling sick either because of the stress levels or maybe they don't just want to turn up. Yeah. That could also be a good indicator that there's a question mark with the manager. Yeah. Then you could also look at the team dynamics. Is there a lot of backbiting, people putting each other, throwing each other under the bus, the team dynamics, is there a lot of conflict? That's also a good sign that things are not working. So if you are a hands-on HR manager or HR professional for that matter, then if you find that these are some of the things happening and they are quite specific to a certain department or a certain docket, then it's a good indicator that the leadership is toxic. Yeah. Yeah.
Of course, there are effects at the end of the day on the organization and also on the team they are leading.
Yes.
So what are these effects?
I would say number one, it affects morale. And when morale is affected, then everything else goes downhill. Yeah. So productivity will be affected. Commitment to the organization will be affected. This is what we call the employee experience. So people would they would not want to stay with you, or even word you start spreading that you're not a good employer, simply because of the manager who's misbehaving. And then that's how organizations now start failing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's quite interesting.
Yeah.
So as a HR, what steps can you take when you recognize these signs?
Now, even before, for me, first, number one, I wouldn't wait for it to go to that extent. So in this day and age, as a HR, you should be proactive and to build, I would say, a positive organizational culture. And what does this entail? It's quite simple. Put yourself in the shoes of the employee. How would you want how do you want to be managed? How do you want to be supervised? Because sometimes we complicate things. Yeah. So is there effective communication? Is there respect? And respect here is two ways. The manager, the supervisor, manager and supervisor down to the employee up. Exactly. Is there effective communication and respect? Yeah. Are the managers adhering to the HR policies and procedure? Because it doesn't mean that you can't discipline person. It doesn't mean that you can't even terminate someone's contract. But what does apart from the law, are you following your own procedures, because when someone feels that they've been taken through the procedure, then there's fairness.
Yes.
Yeah. They look at other aspects like trust. Is there trust? Is there fairness? Yeah. So I would say you as a HR or as a manager, your work is to champion a positive culture in the organization. And there are a lot of things you can do. Yeah. Even giving a hearing to the staff, making sure you have an open door policy where our staff, if they are aggrieved with their boss, they can come and in confidence share with you and tell you, hey, guess what, John is doing A, B, C, D. So it doesn't mean that you go to John telling him, oh, Cynthia was at my desk, this is what, you know. Having that maturity to be able to handle
confidentiality.
Exactly, confidentiality. Yeah, so for me, it's the work of the HR to really champion the positive, having a positive organizational culture. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you for your time.
Your expertise on
Karibu
this
sana.
issue. Thank you so much for watching. I hope the tips that Paminas has shared will be helpful in your career and your role as a HR professional. Please subscribe to the channel, share this video, and leave a comment if you have any topic you'd like us to address. Thank you and see you next time.